ready to talk about it. Well, I'm going to be interviewed by Dion Anglin, and they just wanted to say hello to you. Everybody, can you say hello to my grandma? Hello. Danya. All right. On count of three, we want to say congratulations, Miss Opoli. Okay. Okay. Count us down, Danya. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Opoli. Thank you so much for reading the book. Yeah, having an opinion about it. I appreciate you, every one of you. And your sorority has a beautiful table set up in your honor. Oh, wow. We'll have pictures. Okay? Yeah. I appreciate you, young people. All right. Well, thank you, Randir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it was several times. We went to Google, and we put on a nice show for her at the Google headquarters down in Dallas, courtesy of a friend that I know. We always want to continue to network. We always want to continue to reach out. We always want to continue to express ourselves. So, how many of you guys seen Wakanda, right? Wakanda Forever, right? So, in Wakanda Forever, they make it a point to say ancestors, and they make it a point. He even goes back and talks to his father. So we're going to kill all the spookiness and all like that. She just said it in the Bible. Whenever someone is begotten by someone, that's generations. We have a whole system of culture that we just don't know about. Right. And our ancestors is a part of that. We should always remember who we come from. I have a mother and a father. Unfortunately, I'm going to give a free story, but I'll get it quick. I didn't know my father. I met my father. I saw my father when I was 54 years old. 54. When we met, we talked. I love my father. For whatever he did, forgive him. Right. He gave me his generations. I call on my ancestors because I know that I don't have to have anybody in this world to support me or help me. I know my people got me. You see what I'm saying? We are very strong people. We just got to know where our strength lies. Our strength lies in our mothers, our fathers, our grandfathers, our grandmothers. They lived through something. That's right. All right? Their blood, their sacrifice, their sweat, their tears, that's what brings us to things like this. So I'm going to start libations. And we always say the term ashe. Ashe means so be it. I always start with someone in my lineage, in my family. And after I call out, a few names of my lineage, my family, then I call out, I love the doc because all you got to do is just look at the rafters. And our ancestors are in there. So all I have to do is call out someone in your lineage and then call out, someone who you want to bring that energy forward. And that's what we're doing. We're just embracing the energy of their sacrifice, what they have done. And we want to embody that. We want those principles to be with us as we continue. We talk about the principles of Kwanzaa and things like that. Well, our ancestors have good character. So we want to embody that as we move forward. And that's all that, like, basically. You've seen them do coolie high where they pour a little something on the ground. This is for all those who have gone before us. They may have liquor or whatever. We're using water. Water is the resource of life. If you don't have water, you're going to die. Okay? We put water into the plant. This plant is getting very well fed. And this is what we call a cycle of life or a circle of life. And so with that being said, I'm going to start. My bases are. My name is Vincent Haynes. I am son to Carlton State and Shirley Haynes. And I give thanks to Bob Shea, Google Bob Shea, I just said I'm giving greeting to my ancestors immediate. I'm giving greeting to those ancestors who are close to the Creator. That's all I really said. And with that, I pull libations in honor of my father, Carlton State. I open it up for everybody in the room. You can call them out, or I can point to you. We can start calling out names, and we can say Ashe when we hear the name Ashe. To my grandparents, Belinda W. Chains, Ashe.
Ashe.
My grandmother was
Ashe.
Lena Mitchell.
Ashe.
Danny Michael.
Ashe.
Ernest Mitchell.
James.
Ashe. Ashe. To all those who transitioned on this day in the Tulsa Massacre, Ashe. All those who fought and died in the civil rights struggle in this country. All those military people who gave their lives and sacrificed for this country. Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
Nelson Mandela.
President Kennedy, John Brown, Harry Tubman, Family Hamer, Shirley Chisholm, Ron Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince. You can call them all out. They're words. Ashe, the right Reverend Nat Turner, Ashe. We're going to call out all those who died in the middle passage of slavery. We're going to call out all those who we want to embody and be with us here today. All those we know by name. There's generations that we're connected to that we don't know by name.
Tatiana Jefferson.
Tatiana Jefferson, Ashe. Bill Pusnick McDonald. Eugene McCrae. George Floyd. Ashe, and all those who transition at the hands of violence, we still having people that are hung in this country, and that's a travesty. This time we're going to pull libations for all those whom we may not know by name. Ashe, and we don't want to forget anybody out. All of our friends, Obi Lay, Anthony Douglas, and all those who we are connected to. Ashe. Give us one moment of silence. Thank you very much. Normally I play some drums with that, you know what I'm saying? We know. Drums next time. I'm really trying to get it. Thank you all.
Okay. I'm gonna get a brand issue, but that's okay. That is okay, because she needs to be a part of this. You guys, we are going to set the stage for the country when this comes to this book signing. So before everybody start making a mad dash after this conversation and leave, I want us to stand up and applaud and do a selfie video holding up her book. You know, because I want Texas to be loud. Texas, it has a space in the literary world. They cannot continue to go from East Coast and West Coast and leave out Texas. And so we are making a statement here. I am going to ask the Zetas, because they're going to do a campaign for this book. When you guys are done and gone, they will be launching this book everywhere. They're on the forefront when it comes to the walk. So I am going to ask them a couple just to do this bookish, quirky thing and come up front. And usually Chelsea's the one that end up capturing everything. Yes, I have it. So if everybody can stand up and hold their books up, please.
Wait, yes, you can. Which way? Give everybody facing. I think so. I guess so. I can be a little direct. You're gonna say which way? Y'all gonna be facing that way? Okay, let me just squeeze by.
Like beyond, take it like a self-picture. Granddaughter. Oh, okay. Okay. We don't fall, right? Okay. I need to get in too.
Oh my God. Everybody have their book up, facing the right way, make sure it's upside down. All right.
Oh, because my phone is correct.
Go do photo first. Photo first. Everybody here. 1, 2, 3. Big smiles, big smiles, big smiles. Beautiful. Oh, you said congratulations.
No, not do from just go be quick, like.
Well, committee of 1?
Yeah, committee of 1. Okay.
Okay, so y'all gonna say committee of 1 on 3. Okay. Are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Committee of 1.
Hi, people.
We got this amazing panel. I know you guys been sitting here waiting for this, so I am going to be real quick. We have Deion England. Deion England, Fox 4 News. She's up. They have so many video clips with Dr. Opal Lee, so we're just fitting for us to call one of our favorite Deion English. She is amazing. She is an amazing broadcast journalist. So everything she does just turns into gold right now. Yes. True. I can't even say enough about her, about what we think. And Deion Sims, oh my gosh, she's running for Congress. Let me tell y'all something. I just discovered 2 weeks before this last election that I was in her district. I did not know that, but that happened everywhere. That happens everywhere. And I called Deion. I said, do you know that we are in your district? She said, I've been telling y'all. I've been telling everybody to go check. And she's in that very serious. And Dr. Opal Lee, just at some point, she's nice, and then she turns stern. And I was like, let me get on it. Like, okay, we are 2 weeks out. But she became the Democratic nominee. So we have work. I need to say this for me. But we're going to have work to do. We're going to have to march forward. If I want to talk about my last experience with Dr. Opal Lee, that was her message. Her last public experience I had with her was, let's raise some funds for her. I mean, it can happen, you guys. She can turn it. She can do this. And she is boots on the ground. Oh, let me stop. Because I can go down that road of just being boots on the ground. So I am going to turn this over. This is different. I don't know how to set up. I'm going to turn this over because Deion is doing all the interviews. So this is a surprise. What's going to happen here is going to be a surprise to me. So I'm going to turn it over to the co-owner of the Doc Boot Shop, who is rocking the Juneteenth shirt. So I'm going to turn it over to Donna Craddock.
All right, Donna.
Testing. Okay. All right. Okay, give yourselves a hand. Y'all look so good. Thank you so much for coming out and being here and just sharing this experience. We're so excited about Miss Opal's new release, A Committee of One. And this is odd because Deion is the interviewer, but she's going to be. You got this. I got this. Okay. All right. So, anyway, so real quickly, Diane pretty much introduced you all. So let's just delve into it, okay? Let's just delve into this conversation. Who is Miss Opal Lee to you personally? And why is it important for you to be a part of this conversation surrounding her memoir?
Oh my, folks know who I am. Okay, but that's still such an interesting story. I grew up right here in Fort Worth. I have had the wonderful blessing for the last 30 years to be a reporter and storyteller. The last 20 of those years right here in my hometown cities. And I like to say that I'm excited that I have lived during a time where I can say I've seen 2 Texas women start with nothing but determination and take that determination and turn it into superstardom. Beyonce and Miss Opal. So I love saying that. Deion and I have done many stories over the years, so I am privileged and honored to have been a part of Miss Opal's journey since she got on the radar of Fort Worthians and North Texans back in 2016. We get a lot of story ideas from people, emails and letters that even come in the mail and news releases. And I started seeing the news releases in 2016. Opal Lee, 89 years old, is walking from Fort Worth to the nation's capital. Okay. And you got tons of things like this coming across your desk. And you say, really? It's hard to understand this. So how should I walk from here to there? And so, we just moved along with the story. It's just another story idea. I'm like, okay. And then we get to a point where we keep seeing the news releases. And you're like, let me look into this and see what is actually happening here? So, and I'll get into more of it, but that is kind of where it started for me. And then I realized that Ms. Opal and her family and I have so many mutual friends through church and, you know, coming up in the neighborhoods of Fort Worth. And so it just started there. And so for me, that's where I'll say it again.
And let me add before Deanna turns, for us, for the Doc Bookshop, when we opened in 2008, your grandmother, she came, and when she came in, she was like, I love it. She was just such a supporter of the Doc Bookshop, and she just became a friend. And mostly, she is a serious community activist. I mean, before the radar, you know, she was doing food banks, and she was coming to community meetings and a whole bunch of stuff. And so that's kind of how our connection with Miss Opal. And then she got into this routine where at least once a month, she would call me to place her book order. And so she's very dear to the Doc Bookshop. And that's why, you know, we made sure that we had to do a book launch for Miss Opal because she just really, really supported the Doc Bookshop, and we love her for that.
I just will say I'm so excited about how you refer to her. Granddeer.
What is that too? I love that, granddeer.
So I am Dion Sims. I am the granddaughter of the grandmother of Juneteenth. Not that my other cousins can't say it, but I tell you what, I've got stories behind it to back it up. One of the things that I love about my grandmother is her connection to the community.
Yes.
And she's an avid reader. You know, she's an educator, third grade teacher. And reading was her way of making sure that the young pigs had exposure. And she told my father now that if they kept a book in their hand, they wouldn't have to do chores. And so that's how they developed the love of reading. So that they kept a book in his, he talked about all the time in his back pocket. So every time she told him to do so, I'm reading. She said, so her house looked like the high hills of hell, she said. But anyway, but my grandmother loves the Doc Bookshop. So Amazon is where we mostly go get books because it's easier to get it mailed to the house. She will call Danya and Donna for books and or get somebody to bring her to the Doc Bookshop to see if they had the book. And if they didn't have it, they would order it for her. But getting physical books, and even with the advent of Kindle and reading books online, she likes pages. Right. And so really appreciate the Doc for reaching out to do this for when the memoir comes out. And they've also supported when she wrote her book that we self-published through Unity Unlimited. They bought books from us to have in the store. And when they went out to do, we need some more. When they would go to their events, they wanted to make sure they would get them from us instead of ordering them through Amazon or whatever. And so they are a community partner, a community supporter, and they also are carrying the book that came out this year. 2 books have come out there. We've been celebrating Miss Opal's 100th year all year long. So I see Bailey has her Barbie. Did everybody get the Barbie? Okay. So that was released in January with Barbie and Mattel. In February, they released the graphic novel. And so that came out. So for those who like comic book style graphic novels for the young people, I got my grandson here and I'm like, go get a chapter book. All right. So I'm getting into, but they did release a graphic novel about her life in Juneteenth. Is it here?
The graphic novels? It's actually on the Zeta table.
It's on the Zeta table. So you can get that one as well. And so that was February, and then this is for June and for Juneteenth. So her birthday is October 7th.
So we have a year of Miss Opal.
It's the year of Miss Opal. So, and so as we, continue into Juneteenth, this coming out right now and us having this conversation is wonderful. So thank you guys.
Thank you. And I just want to add, I had the opportunity to visit Miss Opal's library. One time I was picking up some books. And she pulled me in and said, I want to show you something. And she has an amazing library. I mean, it could be a museum.
Well, and what happened is, it's not those are all books that she's read. Miss Opal saves books, so you got, so you know when the library, gets rid of books and they have it over at the Will Rogers and the horse barn things, and she does not like to see books get burned or destroyed or whatever, so she would tell them when they got rid of everything, everybody picked over everything, call me and I'll come get them. She would get them and she would send them away. She would send them to people. So that's why that is libraries. Well, not that she read all those books, but she couldn't see a book be destroyed.
Right.
Just unhappening.
She's a lover of books. That's why we love her. Okay, going to continue on. After reading A Committee of One, why do you think Miss Opal chose that title? And what message do you believe she hoped readers would take away from her story?
And when you guys get your copy of the book, it's the last chapter, or maybe chapter 13, about why A Committee of One and why she always said that. And one of the things that you'll understand is that she didn't wait for somebody else to do anything. And so her committee of one is, if you have to do it by yourself, get it done.
Right.
Okay, so you don't have to wait for others to agree with you. You don't have to wait for somebody else to have the idea or someone to affirm your idea or someone to give you the push that you think you need to accomplish your idea. Start with yourself, start with your idea and put pen to paper, write it down. Talk through it through your mind to see how you can figure it out. And then once you've locked in on what it is you want to do, then you go get somebody else and people will join your committee because a lot of them have the same thoughts. They're just like, well, I can't do it by myself, so I might as well not do it.
I don't want to be the one to start it.
They don't want to be the one to start it.
And I can say it's the perfect Miss Opalism, if I can make that a phrase. But throughout the years of talking with her and interviewing her, she has certain things that she will use as catchphrases. This is one. And so when I saw the title of the book, Committee of One, I was like, perfect. It's perfect. So
For real.
Okay. And I'm just going to read through. Was there a particular chapter, story, or moment in the book that resonated with you the most? And why did it stand out? The chapter or moment in the book?
okay, I'm about midway through the book, and I can say that I love the early chapters, and I'll just go as far as to say chapter 1, because she really gives you the foundation for everything she's done, and it has so much to do with family. It has so much to do with the way her parents were the example for her. And we don't want to give away the book because we know you all are looking forward to reading it. But they never wallowed in these circumstances, but yet just looked for the way forward.
Yes, and for you to answer that question, Deanna, I just want to go over the chapters with the audience so you can kind of see just so much because the chapters alone just stands out. Chapter 1, never fold. That was a good chapter. Chapter 2, follow your first mind. That was interesting. That was kind of, yeah. That's kind of built for relationships and all that. But okay, chapter number 3, be willing to work for what you want. Chapter 4, serve through your grief. That's Chapter 5, let love find you. Amen. Chapter 6, do your best. God will do the rest.
Amen.
Chapter 7, keep the faith. Chapter 8, do a little something for yourself. Support your self-care. Chapter 9, keep walking until you win. Chapter 10, take care of your community. Chapter 11, if you start something, finish it. Chapter 12, plan, but be present. Chapter 13, change somebody's mind. That's a good one. And chapter 14, freedom is a practice.
Is in everything. I say that. So one of the things that stood out for me is even though I've heard these stories quite a bit, and I thought I knew her life. One of the, I had the, one of the privileges of editing the book and reading through it as they were working through it. And so got to one part, and I can't, really, give y'all much about it. But it said in there that she drank a whole bottle of whiskey.
What?
And yeah. and so because she always said that if she ever, that the reason she doesn't drink is because if she did, she'd be hanging off the chandeliers. And so to have read, so I thought for sure that the person that was helping her write the book was embellishing and trying to spice up, adding, to make it sell and stuff. And so I ran over to her house with the printed copy because she also, was going through and correcting stuff. I said, "Did you do this?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "When?" And so she told me, "So you have to read about it." And she told me when. And I'm like, "But you've never said so to tell you everything." And I'm like, "Well, okay, I just want to make sure your authentic voice was still in the book." So when you guys get to that, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it is true to her. But that chapter did get me.
And what got me was when she was telling her story about when they burned down her parents' house. And it happened on June 19th.
I didn't know that. That's what.
I'm like, really?
So,
And that just kind of stuck with her. She kind of refers back to it. That's kind of her mission. From that moment,
well, let me give y'all some background.
Yeah.
All right, so 2015, we're working on Juneteenth, and she wants to have a license plate commissioned for Juneteenth's commemorative 150th anniversary. And so we began the process of understanding what that meant, contacted Nicole Collier, Senator Royce West, because it was a legislative thing. The state had to declare and commission a license plate. So we make it through that, and now it's time for publicizing it and let people know they can get their license plate. So you guys, please still go get your Juneteenth license plate. All right, myplates.com, get your Juneteenth license plate. And so we reached out to Bud Kennedy, Star Telegram. I say, "Bud, can you help us let people know about it?" And so he did. So he started doing the research, and he gives me a call, and he says, "Dion, was your grandmother's father's last name Flake?" And I said, "Yes, that's, Otis Flake." And he said, "I'm going to send you something, and you tell me if this is her family." And when he sent the Associated Press story that's in print about how the mob of 500 people came to put them out of their house on June 19, 1939. I said, "Granddaughter, is this," and again, "is this real? Is this Grandpa Flake?" And she said, "Yes." She says, "I did not remember it being on Juneteenth, but I remember it." And so she started recounting how her father came home, how they had just moved into the house, how my grandmother had, her room was made, her mother had made the house so nice 4 days prior. This is only 4 days they got to live in that house. And she said, and when her father came with the shotgun, and you can see it when she said it. And the police told him if he busts a cap, that's what she used the words. "If you bust a cap, I'm gonna let this mob have you." And when she says those words, you guys can feel it in her voice. When she says that, she remembers, she saw that, she witnessed that. "I'm gonna let this mob have you." And so, and then them having to leave the house through the back and get back to friends over on Turl Street, who they rent to. That happened on Juneteenth. And so when Bud Kennedy asked about that, she says all of that came back because she didn't realize the date. And the significance of that to me is when you think about how God weaves the tapestry of one's life. Okay? She didn't plan on it being Juneteenth. She didn't plan on having that harrowing experience as a 12-year-old. And then for that to be woven in her to be the grandmother of Juneteenth, to have a passion for Juneteenth to be a national holiday, and then to have her house restored to her 85 years almost to the day. You see how God meets tragedy and builds strength in you? And they did not allow hatred and bitterness to seep into their heart. They moved, my great granny moved on through it, and they worked their way through it and got another house. This time on the right side of Hattie, because Hattie was the dividing line. They were one block off of Hattie in the wrong side of South Side. They should have been on the other side. But that did not cause her to have a seed of bitterness at 12 years old. They could have ruined her life, and she wouldn't have been the great humanitarian that she is today.
I know. And it's just amazing how that stood out to me. Like, wow, that happened on
And the
June
fact that
19th.
she didn't realize it had happened on June 19th.
And you know, before Juneteenth became a national holiday, back in the day when, I say this jokingly, when Juneteenth was red, black, and green, you know, we got a new flag, but it used to be red, black, and green. It's open doing Juneteenth for a long time. And so I'm like, that is her mission. Like that just stood out to me. That was amazing.
Her steps were ordered.
Yes. Okay, let's move on. This memoir was more than a year in the making. How do you think its publication adds to Ms. Opal's legacy as an educator, activist, and the grandmother of Juneteenth? How does it add?
I think it's almost like a natural evolution, and I'm waiting for a movie. But the
You know what? That's the next step. The book comes first, and then it goes.
But the book it just gives us something tangible that we can put in our hands, and you think about future generations, our grandchildren, grandchildren who will ultimately one day, I pray, see Miss Opal like we see Harriet Tubman, like we see Bethune Cookman, like we see Rosa Parks, and she will have her rightful place in history for generations to come. And this, I think, only helps in that.
I like the way that they put the book together, because it doesn't just follow a chronological, it jumps around, because it's really about getting these anecdotes from your grandmother, these nuggets for living, these words of wisdom from someone that has lived it, experienced it, and say, hey baby, if I can give you one thing not to do, don't do this. Or if there's one thing that you could do to hold on to your piece of you, this is it. And so it really does kind of give you words of wisdom to live by. So it's not just a chronological story of her life. It's about her living a life well lived, that it can impact someone else. And so it comes from a place of heart, to see everybody be their best self. And so this literary work, I think, is going to really outlive not even just her memory of making Juneteenth a holiday. It's going to really resonate as a part of someone's soul, okay? That they can see strength, they can see resilience, and they can see, I can make it too, right? By the things that she says in here.
And I agree. And also, when you read the book, it reads as if she's talking to you. Like it flows so well. It's like really you're sitting
relaxed
talking to. Yeah, it's very calming read, and it's like you said, it's sitting at the feet of your grandmother. So I think this book will actually add to family libraries. You know,
Sure.
And we love the public library, love public libraries, but we also believe in building your own library. And so this is definitely a must-have for your family library, because it's like your grandmother store, literally, I mean, for you,
For me.
but really for all of us, because she just shares so much of her wisdom and her life and her light in this book. So, okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. Kind of still writing that same thing, but how important is this memoir as a historical and educational resource for future generations seeking to understand Juneteenth, community activism, and the pursuit of freedom?
In a day and age right now where they're burning books, banning books, whitewashing history, trying to take stuff out of museums, trying to make us not remember what we have been through, what this country has experienced, what history was and is. This book, again, as Donna said, needs to be in a space to be protected. Because when you look at apocalyptic underpinnings that are happening now, the undercurrents that are happening now, not even just overt, they're blatant and in your face. We have to make sure that we retain true and accurate history so that our kids, our grandkids will know the truth. Because what things they see before their eyes right now is a fictitious reshaping of history, and we have to be able to point them back to a North Star of truth. And this book will help to, because it does give real accurate things of what happened to her family. But it's not about blame or shame or, trying to be negative, but history is history.
It's true.
It happened. And trying to reshape it so that, you paint something not as bad as it was, because slavery was not volunteer service. Okay, that wasn't it. And people did not have the ability to escape and just go, I don't want to do this anymore, so I'm going to go. Right?
Right.
And then that was the result. If they chose, if they ran away, they had to come back. And so as a part for Juneteenth, it's also a good recording because it records how Juneteenth was made a national holiday. It cannot be, and I say it all the time, cannot be revoked by executive order.
Thank God.
Okay? So, as you see someone living as an icon, having had an idea, and again, going back to that committee of one, having an idea about how she could make an impact just to, maybe get to the president. Who thinks about that? Who wants to, just try and get to the president? And I asked her, I said, can't we send a letter? Can't we send a letter? And she said, no, I want to walk. I want to walk so that I can bring awareness, so folks can see me walking. She was 89 at the time, wanting to walk to Washington, D.C. And so with that, young people can see tenacity. They can see resilience. They can see not letting somebody talk you out of it, because I did. I asked my dad. I said, your mom wants to walk to D.C. He said, you're not going to be able to stop her. I said, I just want to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble. Okay? Because I'm going to make it happen if that's what she wants to do. And so knowing that no matter how many people tell you you can or you shouldn't, or it's not going to work, they're not going to give you that. If that is what you want to do and you feel called to do that, you have a resource that says, go for it.
Okay. You said a mouthful, so we're going to go to the next question. Were there any stories, memories, or insights in the book that surprised you?
Besides the fifth of liquor.
That was mine.
Oh, yeah. And I already did mine with the June 19th. That surprised me. But do y'all have any other insights that kind of kind of surprised?
Not that we want to give away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because if they haven't read it, so we have to be careful.
Yeah, you want to really
Give it away. Just generally, I liked a lot how she's very open, and she admits when she feels she made some decisions that perhaps she should not have, and she acknowledges that, and she says, but it was my decision to make, and that's the important thing. And so in her offering of advice and guidance, she encourages us to follow our instincts and know that our decisions are our own, even though sometimes we may not make the best decision or the right decision. And you own up and you continue to move forward.
Okay, and the last one before we open it up to the audience. What do you think Ms. Opal would want her lasting message to be for future generations who read this 25, 50 years? What do you think of the lasting message would
The title of the book. The title of the book.
be?
Be them. That's yes. Because that's what she preaches. That's her mantra. Don't let anybody stop you. Okay. She didn't take no for an answer. She kept going until she found a way for your no to be a yes. So, she might have had to, come down a couple of notches so that, you did what she ultimately wanted. But your first no she didn't take that as rejection. She just found another way to make you comfortable with the idea so that you can say yes to it. So I think the title of the book is her lasting thing. Her thing that she would want people to know is that you, even if you have to stand by yourself, stand right, do what's right, even if everybody else, and we tell that to kids today, all right? If all your friends want to jump off the cliff, you're gonna jump off the cliff, right? We say that, but that's what her words are. When you have to stand alone, still stand. Don't fall and follow the lead and follow the crowd.
Everyone can make a
I just want to say that I'm so proud, of course, to know Ms. Opal and to have witnessed her journey and her continued path in our world. But I would just like for us to all acknowledge this woman. Look at her. So hard to honor, support, grandmother in all of the endeavors. It's just amazing that you have done that, and I think we're all very just happy to know that she has been so supported, and I know your entire family has played a role. But you took the charge, and every time I needed an interview, or every time I wanted to see where's Miss Opal, can I catch up with her? I mean, we just had the system. I mean, and it just started out formally, and then it got to where we just text each other. She'd be like, "Well, we're over here now. Come over here now." So that journey, being a part of that journey in a minuscule way, is something that I appreciate and will always remember throughout my career.
So, all right. All right, let's get into questions. All right, so any questions from the audience? Okay.
Hi, I'm Yvette Williams, Dion, major member, Lady Yvette's TK, and fellow AME member too, Mother Opal Lee, because she's just like Rosa Parks. She's one of the deaconess of our church. So she's very iconic. My question to you, Dion, being so close to your grandmother, is there anything else left that she wants to accomplish?
There is a Santa Claus list of things that she, people are now, doing the, well, let's go ahead and write her obituary before she's gone so she can have a chance to, be a part of the discussion of what we talk about, when she passes. And so one such thing has been recorded, and she had this long list of things that she still wanted to do that she said she's leaving to this generation and my father. And he says, don't give it to me. Of that she wants to do that. And that's because when you think about the humanitarian before the celebrity,
Right.
before the celebrity, there was this humanitarian that everybody, and she and I both said, is it stamped on my forehead? How do people find us? I don't know how they find us, Grandier. But if you need something, if you have a question, she was the person to go to. If you needed shoes for if you needed a job, if you needed a house, she was the connector to resources. And so that's why Juneteenth being a empowering holiday is so important to her. She didn't want just it to be music and red soda water and barbecue. That's a component. But when you look at the activities that she has done over a course of almost 50 years, because it started in the 70s. Matter of fact, this would be year 50 because they started in 76. The legacy of events that they have always done that now Unity Unlimited continues to make happen, you see an empowering of the individual to understand what that freedom means and to embody and do something with it. Because when our ancestors were told they were free, they were like, free to do what? Free to go where? And so they had to make life-altering decisions based on very little information. So when we do Empowering You on the 27th, it's a health fair, it's a job fair, it's a recruiting fair, it's a resource fair to make sure resources are available to people to, maybe change and understand what it means to be an entrepreneur. All right, because one thing COVID showed us is that when folks got laid off of jobs, they still had bills to pay. So their side hustles became their main hustles. And so now that they've got these businesses, are they doing them right? Are you doing your taxes right? Are you incorporated? Did you do? And so that's what Empowering You is about. But that's because Juneteenth is more than just a festival. And you guys heard her say that. It's about empowering, it's about education. And then, of course, it's about entertainment. Those are our 3 E's. So when you think about her laundry list, oh yeah, there's still more. There's still more.
Awesome. Okay. We'll take a few more. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Davis,
Your next.
and Chelsea is my niece. And I just want to, first off, this is very nice, and I am happy to be a part of this. So she actually invited me as part of my 70th birthday, and so yes, and so yes, and so I just want, and is it Dion? Dion, I want you to know that your legend of being supportive of your grandmother is, I'm sure that it is beyond grateful from her. But my question to you is was the home burning on June 19th, was that ever determined to be intentional or coincidental?
Good question. It just depends on how you read the story. Okay? Because what Grandier will say is that the people drug the stuff out of the house and they burned and they dismantled, they did disgusting things. The house is no longer there, okay? And there was a report of a gas leak that destroyed or caused the fire. But it was the intentional act of putting them out of their house that was very intentional and driving them out of the neighborhood. So after they left the house, everything that they had put in it was gone. They left only with what was in their back, on their back, and the few things that my great grandfather was able to take with them. But the attack was intentional for sure.
So somehow when the house was empty, it triggered a gas leak.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sad story. And you read it, they literally have to start over. She talks about having to different houses. People, she talked about how the community stepped up to help.
Yeah.
But it gave us the strength and resolve. So
It did. That's any other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm Beatrice McBride. I'm a photojournalist, and I've been kind of following Mother Opal for the last 15 or 20 years. I have more of a statement than anything else. It's her work ethic that pulls me through. when we were in Japan, the phone would ring at 2 a.m. because she wouldn't tell anyone she had traveled. She'd pick up the phone and get to work. She would help people out with their groceries, their housing. She was relentless. She didn't stop. She would not stop.
Yeah, Tokyo was a neat trip. And they did 2 walks. They're not getting to do one this year. Administration, is making it hard over there. We think we have it hard, but the military over there. And they were a great support. But they did Opal's walks in Japan, but they brought us there because freedom is universal. Juneteenth means freedom. And they wanted us to share the story of Juneteenth and the freedom that it meant to the country of Japan. And with that, Chiefs, I'll tell you what, me being a part of this ride and this journey has opened so many doors of travel, of meeting people and explaining how Juneteenth, African American heritage, what it can mean globally. Because as we're facing right now, what we're seeing right now happening to this country, and your freedom to be an American, to safely walk in the street, to get an education, to be able to speak your mind and not be scared that someone in your family is going to be taken and put in a concentration camp. That's not America. That's not freedom. And that's not Juneteenth. So when you look at it, Juneteenth is the foundation. She always says, July 4th, free the land, but Juneteenth, free the people.
Oh, wow.
But journalist kind of question, and I love this kind of thing, the behind the scenes stuff a little bit. So I just want to go back for a moment to the year 2021. It was about June 15th or so. You all were home.
Okay.
And there's a big vote happening in DC, and you get a phone call. Walk us through it.
So on Tuesday, the 15th, the Senate, if you guys remember, did a unanimous vote. The year before, Ron Johnson, Senator, stopped that, with his no vote to make Juneteenth a holiday in the Senate. 1 year, almost, the Senate says yes unanimously, which then puts the bill over into the House. Because remember, usually bills start in the House and go to the Senate. But if the Senate gets a unanimous vote, it can come over to the House. 15th, we get it. 16th, Sheila Jackson Lee is on television counting the yays and the nays. Y'all remember? I get a phone call from the White House because I remember thinking, we are planning to do Fox Soul's live broadcast on the 19th of June of us walking for Juneteenth.
Full-fledged mode
I'm
of planning Juneteenth.
Planning, all right? Deanna England and Dr. Sean were going to be our co-hosts, and this was on Saturday the 19th. Here it is, the 16th, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're going to wait until the 19th of June because the president was at the G9. I might have to move the walk to DC. What am I going to do? Oh my God. I get this fall on the 16th.
Tell us how the phone call went.
I get this call. I said, hello, Deion Sims. Is this Deion Sims? I said, yes. This is the White House. I'm like, how did I get my number? I said, yes. President Biden would like to have Miss Opal at the signing of the National Juneteenth Independence Day Act tomorrow. Okay. And so we just need to know who all's coming with her. We need their socials, their names, their birthdays. And I said, okay, I'll get that right to you because at this moment it's like they hadn't even hit the gavel. Sheila Jackson Lee hadn't hit the gavel yet with the yays and the nays on television, and I'm getting this call. And so with that, she hit it. Y'all remember it was 400 and something against 14. And we had a holiday, and we were going to Washington. And I told her, I said, do you remember when you told me you wanted to walk to Washington in 2016? I said, when they make this a holiday, you're gonna be there and I'm gonna be with you.
Mm.
She said, I remember. I said, okay, well, let's get going. So we had to get, there, but we were on a 5:30 a.m. flight.
Wow. Wow.
And when you got there, describe what that was like.
Okay, so to know how we got there, Invent Group came along in 2020 when we went to deliver the 1.5 million signatures as a pro bono advertising agency as an amplifier of the message, and so they helped us. So I called Scott and said, "Hey Scott, we got to be in DC." He said, "Are you packed?" Because I guess we should have been packed if they were okay. But anyway, I said we can be. He says, I'm gonna call and get y'all a charter out of Meacham.
Oh,
Okay. I charter out of Meacham. And so he worked, and he says, I couldn't get it at last minute. He says, but I got y'all on a flight. It's 5:30. I said, we'll take it. And so there were 6 of us, my husband, my oldest son, RJ, who was a photographer, Diaria, who was our press person, and security, Martin. All of us got on a 5:30 flight, and he greeted us at the airport and had us in these Escalades. We looked like we were in a presidential motorcade.
wow.
All it needed was a little red flag. That's all it needed. But he got us, took us to lunch, and we got to the White House. Of course, we had to do COVID tests and all that kind of stuff. But it was awesome. And did you guys remember how President Biden bowed his knee to her? I'm gonna give y'all another story. When Donald Trump made it to the White House, he threw out 2 pictures of President Biden bowing his knee to my grandmother. And as God does stuff, he does stuff and we don't even know it. A young friend, a fiance or a boyfriend of someone that saw it and asked, could he have those photos? And the people said, well, it's in the trash. Sure, you can. They got it to Regina Taylor at the food bank. And Miss Regina Taylor she's framed it. She's waiting to give it to Grandier for her birthday. But they threw them out. But God had a ram in the bush, had someone there to recover them. I tell you, that tapestry is just wearing its way through.
Okay, so we're going to, Danya, do you have any comments, anything to say? I didn't miss anybody, did I?
Yes, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Right here.
Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna go with you first. Then are you gonna say something, Drew? Okay, you, and then this gentleman, and then that gentleman, okay? So, and that's it. Okay.
I was gonna ask, since she's gonna be turning 100 years old, what is she gonna do?
Wow. Okay, so her 100th birthday is October, and you guys know we're building the National Juneteenth Museum. And so the National Juneteenth Museum has some great things planned. I can't really say, but keep your eyes open and your ears open, because we are going to celebrate really, really big for the museum for her birthday. So the family is allowing them to have that day. But we've got the 3rd and the 10th weekend the family has asked us to not do. Y'all give us some of her time. But we're going to wrap around several things around Miss Opal's birthday. So she's going to be doing a lot.
Ready to sit down.
There will be Orlando, news about it, but we do have some extraordinary people coming, the event that we will not, and there will be,
So let me give you guys the mic while I got it. So the Tarrant County Democratic Party always has their Dr. Opally Empowerment Luncheon, usually in September, and it's usually the 2nd week. And so this time it's going to be on February the 12th. September the 12th. And they've got, it's gonna be celebrating her birthday. Remember, this is the year of Opal. But you don't wanna miss that if you get a chance to do that. But they've got, some ideas that look to be taking shape. So that's gonna be happening September the 12th, as well.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so I have a comment and a question. The fifth of whiskey that you are referencing was really a mini, a little mini bottle. Ask me how I know.
Ask me how I know.
I'm just kidding.
You're just, no, she told me it was a hole. She told me it was a hole and it made her sick. But see, y'all, see how y'all getting me into it. But no, you gotta read that. But no, it was an interesting story.
But that sounds good.
It wasn't a mini.
Would more dogs be available?
So dolls are available now. Yes, I mean, they ran out the first day. They ran out. They underestimated the impact of that initial offering. No, they can. They can get it through Mattel for sure.
Yeah.
You know, Target, all of your retailers. As a matter of fact, Macy's had it on sale online.
We gonna get it eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it, so I.
Okay.
Eventually you get it from the Dot Bookshop.
But if you want a signed one, all right, you can get that at contacting my sister, Promise. But the website is therealopalLLC.com. All right, it is a fundraiser for her. All right, so you can get it autographed. And then there's another cheaper version that is a stamped version that you can have. And if you already own your dolls and you want to get them stamped or signed, you have to pay the difference. It is a $37 fee for her signature, whether stamped, and then $237 for her physical, you know, printed, you know, it on there. So if you're already on your dolls and you want to, again, reach out to therealopalLLC.com. Go to their contact us, let them know, and Promise to reach back out to you and you guys, because it has to cure on there so that it doesn't wipe off, because the box is very slippery. And so Mattel gave them what to do to make sure that, you know, it lasts a little longer than your fingerprint wiping it off. So you do have to leave the doll there and for it to cure. But reach out to therealopalLLC.com. There's a contact us there.
Great, gentlemen.
Oh, okay, me? Okay. Maybe it's gonna be out of the context, what you're saying, but I heard what you said about the White House, what's going on. And for us to avoid all these horrible things that happen with this orange guy, remember and vote.
Yes. So you're gonna step into my, you're gonna make me put on my other hat. Y'all gonna make me put on my other hat. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, because Diane said I could. All right, was there one more question over here?
Yeah, the gentleman right here in the second row. Did you have a question?
Me?
Okay, there's one more back there. We'll do one more back here. This young lady. The young lady in orange. Tina, girl, go! Tina,
Okay, you know.
can't see. All right.
All right.
Thank you, John, for taking in a position that's gonna change not only the city of Fort Worth, but everybody that's connected and around you. We need information like you. Secondly, I want to say thank you to your granny. I call her G-Mom. So she came out, of course, and so did you when we did our walk. And she told me she was gonna sign me in the dog 2 years ago. She said, you know, I've been waiting a while. But as she was in the parade, y'all, she was talking about all the different things that she would like to have changed and still looking forward to working for in the city of Fort Worth, and how excited she was with her granddaughter actually accompanying her at the White House. And Deanna walked the entire walk, holding on to a four-wheeler that never stopped. So when I tell you that she has her walking shoes on, y'all, started getting ready for us, that walk was 2 miles.
Wow.
She never stopped. So that just lets you know her determination and her plans to change what needs to be done in the city of Fort Worth, Texas, and Tarrant County. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for the next one, point out one quick thing, and I'll just read this short paragraph. And the gentleman in his comment made me think this was very pertinent because a lot of what Ms. Opal gives us in the book, in her memoir, can really be applied to our thinking and our knowledge right now for today. And she says, if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that you can't just talk about change. You have to be change. That's not just a catchphrase to me either. It is a daily decision I've had to make over and over again. It is the choice to line up your actions with your values when no one is watching. Talk is easy. Change is the work. On page 132.
That's a great way to segue to our next, what we doing next time? Going to do the pictures now?
Yeah, we're gonna do pictures. Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk, wait. Okay. I do have a lot of Dr. Opal stories, but I'm not going to deal with that today, but I have a whole bunch of them. I just want to add, with this book, read from cover to cover. There is a foreword by Hannah, I don't know if you guys mentioned it, I was running around.
I did.
Yeah.
Hannah Nicole.
There is a foreword by Nicole Hannah Jones. Read it. She talks about Opal's story in that foreword, what it means to her. And so I encourage everybody, and I just brought this up here because.
You know what? And I like how Nicole, let me go up. So she mentioned Nicole Hannah Jones. I like how she talked about basically, Miss Opal is really a history book. Because she's 61 years removed from slavery. She was born 61 years after slavery. She lived through Jim Crow, or what she called America Apartheid. And she lived through the lynchings and the Red Summers. And she talked about the civil rights. She witnessed a lot. So I definitely read that forward because it is so engaging. It really is.
She was about books, and this was so fitting to be in a bookstore. I remember I was sitting next to, at Judge Clifford Davis' 100th birthday. Bobby Evans is here, that's one of our advisors. She called us and said, I want him to have a gift. This is at 100, right? And I want him to tell me the books that are in the store, and I'm going to tell you which one I want. And bag it up and do it and bring it to that event. So we follow orders, right? And nobody could go on to the stage. But Ms. Opal said, Dr. Opal said, I'm going to that stage. And she handed him the bag. And Judge Clifford Davis is about books too, because he did a lot of events in the store too. So they were on stage about to open up this bag with the book and unwrap the book. And they said they had to be stopped. That's how serious that generation is about reading. So I invite you guys to just get involved in, and sooner or later we're gonna have her book list. There's a lot on her book list, but we're gonna get that out to the community so you can build your own library. Her library is amazing. When I went to go see her, she always took me to the library and showed me the books or who sent her books and who sent her just encyclopedia of books. So it is amazing, and I hope to share that sometime with you in the near future. So the campaign, District 25. I don't know what I can say and cannot say, but I'm just going to do Danya. It is so important for us to get out and vote. It's so important not only for us to get out and vote, but we have to get our family involved. It's no more, okay, I'm going to do the baby shower today, so I missed it. I'm going to do this today, my birthday, this. That we're going to have the dates. And you guys, I cannot tell the many of people that I say, did you vote today? And they tell me, well, this happened or that happened. Early vote. Early vote. Do it, because there's things that happen at the last minute. I'm always guilty about early voting, and but I try to do it, or that voting day I'm there. So I advise everybody to get out there and vote. And one of my favorite books is by Dr. Claude Anderson. It's called Powernomics. You cannot expect to have policies implemented if you don't donate or give to give to campaigns. That is the hierarchy of donation. You have to be able to pour into the politician. That is the order. He has 5 different stages in Powernomics. And one of those is to know the politics, know the politician, and donate in whatever, even if you have to give up time, even if you have to do calling, even if you have to donate money. I don't know. I think you can go to her website, right?
DeonSimsForCongress.com.
And if you don't, look at Doc, if you want to know the blueprint, the responsibility, look up Dr. Claude Anderson. He's going to tell you how you get involved in politics and where the money matters. I love it. So it's all over the internet. Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. Get out there and get that book, and that should mobilize you to even want to get in there and get involved in politics. Can I say it? Okay, I'm not.
Okay, back to medium one. All right, so we're actually gonna close it out because we want you to go. If you have not purchased your book, yes, Attorney Evans.
I just wanted to say, you can also donate. We've been getting some text messages. If it's a valid text message, you can donate through the text message for Dion.
Okay,
It's
what?
valid, right?
Yes.
All right.
If you got it, then again, if you didn't, please. My campaign manager is right here. We actually, if you want to give a check, we have the envelopes because we have to get your information. My campaign manager is here as well as my financial manager. But one of the things, huh? Oh, we got voter registration over there. Okay, right there. She got my stuff. See, we come prepared as a community. Okay?
This is what Ms. Opal is about. That is true. I want to say though, I really enjoyed the conversation with the Deons. I'm so honored. I mean,
Dion. All the D's here and Don.
all the D's. But no, really, it's been an honor. At this point, we're gonna ask you.
I just want to read just one.
Oh, you're gonna be
One
something?
part.
Okay,
Right,
okay.
all right. So this is from the book. Okay. She said, this is page 192. You see, changing a policy is one thing. That's a great thing when we get laws and rules to better align with what we claim are our values. But there is no law or policy that has ever been able to change the heart of a person. That's why people can live and work in a diverse world and yet hold on to antiquated belief systems. Laws may change what people can do, but only love changes what people want to do. History tells us that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 forced open the doors of schools and the ballot boxes, but it didn't remove the hate from some people's hearts. My generation lived that truth every day, and it seems like today's generation is going to do the same. Let's change it. We have a round of applause. Miss Juneteenth. Thank you. Bailey is our, not just Miss Juneteenth DFW, but she is Miss Juneteenth Texas and Miss Juneteenth USA. She took all 3 crowns. And so I want to personally invite you guys to come on next Saturday to the Miss Juneteenth DFW pageant. We're hosting it at Oak Ridge School in Arlington. If you have a 15 to 18-year-old, I would love for you to bring her so she can see the excellence and the quality of the enrichment program, because they do start in January. And this is the culminating event. Bailey will be giving her crown to the next queen. But if you have younger than 15 to 18, it is a good time for them to see it and be seen and sow a seed, because representing your culture is very important for our young people to see why Juneteenth is important. Okay. And so Bailey has had a phenomenal year. She will be going to Washington, D.C. to walk with my son. We're doing 6 Opal's walks across the country, 7 actually. One in Honolulu, One in Los Angeles, California, Grant Pass, Oregon. The legacy one is here with Miss Opal. She will be riding with my father in the truck this year. All right. Cincinnati, Ohio, with the Underground Railroad Freedom Center. I will be in Evanston because I'm gonna get a chance to go to the Obama opening of the museum. All right, so I had to move me because I was gonna be in Washington DC. But once I found that they were going to be doing the walk, opening the museum on Juneteenth, I moved my walk to being in Evanston, which is a suburb of Chicago. And my oldest son will be doing the walk in DC. And I want to ask my daughter, Robin, to stand. Robin. Robin will be leading the walk here in Fort Worth, the Legacy Walk with Dr. Opal Lee. So that is a great granddaughter. Great granddaughter. And then her great grandson is here, Robin's son. But anyway, they're all going to be here walking. So if you guys haven't gotten your t-shirt ordered to walk with us on the 19th of June, please do so. It's go to opalswalk.com to register to walk with us. Like I said, Robin's going to be here with Grandier. I will be in Evanston. My oldest son will be in Washington, D.C. because it is our goal to have a branded Opals walk in all 50 states by 2030. Wow. All right. And people can walk, take with families. They can walk virtually with the Opals Walk Challenge, 2.5 miles. Do it on your treadmill. Get some family, do 10 times around the track. Find 2.5 miles. Don your shirt, go on your social media, and let folks know freedom's not dead. Nope. And we understand that.
So we got that young energy leading us this year. That is going to be exciting. So we're going to support her in everything. Your no, that's your daughter. That's not that's my mini-me. That's her. And I've seen her in action before, so it's in good hands. And so I'm excited to be behind you, far behind you this time, because I got bad.
That's okay.
But let's stand up. Any more comments, Dion?
There's a mission that, and I know it's really being championed by the Zetas to get Miss Opals on the New York Times best.
Oh, that's the last one. Yes. Yes, that was the last one in the video that we put out last week. She said this book needs to be in the New York Times, and so we have to do. I'm looking at direction because I'm looking at the data because I do really want to work closely, see how I can work closely with the local chapter and the national chapter. We also have a sister store up in DC, and she is a Zeta, and she is going to champion a lot of this across the country. So I just want, we're going to try to be a part of it, and hopefully your son can
just
connect with
encourage everybody.
Yeah. So
Push it on your social medias for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We of course have the dotbookshop.com. You can go there. We have a Juneteenth page. We have our video. We do it every year. So you can go out there and just share it and, or go wherever books are sold.
Really quick question. I'm Dr. Tamika Gordon from Texas Christian University. Can I get 30 copies today to take back to the campus?
So I did play some videos earlier of Opal Lee, and so we're gonna play those videos and definitely add you to, just supporting literacy across the Texas. So we truly appreciate that.
Okay, so can I ask one more thing? If there's anybody here, because my finance manager told me that I was probably out of order. See, I've not run for Congress before, so I probably did things out of order. But if you will give us your name, your phone number, and your email address to add you to our communications, that way you can get the text so that you can donate, and we can give you emails and updates to the campaign, and you can let us know that you want to phone bank and volunteer and block walk, because it's going to take all of us to do it. So we'll get a sign-up sheet before you leave.
That actually put out a table for Dion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so at this point, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna just take pictures. And so as the Dion's, for those who want to take a picture with the Dion's, you have to step over here.
Okay.
And if you have not purchased your book, please make your way to the counter and get a book. Buy a book for someone. Thank you so much for your contributions. We appreciate you.
Applaud yourselves.
And applaud yourself. You close down words, you want to say?
Some of you guys came in late, so can we get one more group picture? Chelsea gonna do one more group picture, so some people came in late. If you wanna be a part of the group picture, just come on.
Also, and then.
Okay, they said take pictures, they're gonna ask everybody to take pictures of the, group outside.
After you.
Dana, they would like for you to take pictures with the,
Okay, because I gotta see. Okay.
Dana, take pictures with the panel.
I'm good.
So we do and look at it.
I said right on the front row. Yeah, that's what I do.
And if you want to take pictures,
Randomly, that's it. So we're gonna start a line, we're starting a line right here. If you want to line up, if you want to line up behind this gentleman. If you want to take picture, line up behind this gentleman. So if you want to take pictures, yes.
Thank you.
Brothers.
When you started talking.
If you go, they just want to speak to you. Oh my gosh, shit. They gonna try to get a book.
oh, it's all right. Miss Curtis, who Miss Dana? These are icons in education. She is, now you're gonna look her up and read about it. Okay? You're gonna read about it. That's you're gonna remember that. Oh my God. Miss Curtis. Okay, here we go. Miss Curtis. Okay, there's not gonna say that. Y'all let me take it like this.
Yes, if you don't mind. Since you come this way, then I need to grab my books and stuff.
I don't want nobody's phone to get knocked over. Because if it's an apple, I can't eat it.
Yeah, if it's an apple, I
Oh, nice photo.
Everybody looks awesome.
I think I got it.
Thank you. It's so good to see you. I know one part. Stepped on your foot. I love it. I'm a, but anytime, I'm always like, I have open house, so. Same, but I like paper books. I've tried my Kindle. The audio, I can't do it. I have to have exactly. Same. So, okay, so now I just appreciate this so much. Yes, yes. I'm excited. Wait a minute. Do you mind grabbing my purse in that, is it the blue? Yes, in the blue bag, so I can. Thank you. It's heavy now. That purse is heavy. It's got bricks in it. Yeah, it's got bricks in it. I'm an administrator in comparative race and ethnic studies, and I'm the director of our intercultural center. That person was heavy. Look, gotta get some look. That person was heavy. She's a strong woman.
Start the photo line right here, so I can please. So everybody will go around. They're gonna do the single line that you got started. Come on here. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, they. You're so pretty. So how old are you? No. You can be all right. You like Louis. You already know. My nephew, my twin son, is in the house. So I'm taking him there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You go and I already look at you like Miss Opal? That's a history book. That's a history dog. Okay. Oh, I need to. Hey, done that. Huh? I need to get. I still need water, and I need to get. I wiped it out, but I got this one. Okay, you good. We'll get it taken care of. Okay. I'm just waiting. Yeah.